Welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies, a book podcast where we thirst over morally questionable men and call it literary analysis. We're Kelly and Raven.
Welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies. I'm Raven.
And I'm Kelly. Do I need to...
I'm trying to cover my window up.
Oh.
And if anyone ever wonders why I move so much, it's because I'm in a wheelchair. Well, because I watch my videos and I'm like, God, can I just sit the fuck still? And it's because it's very hard to do that when you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I don't know, but
also
can imagine.
I think that could just be a personality thing as well.
I have been referred to as very fidgety by my coworkers and bosses, so I don't know.
I've been referred to as unhinged
by your coworkers and bosses.
We're gonna not say anything about the bosses. Those are different words.
Sometimes my manager will come up to me and he's like, "Are you doing okay?" I'm like, I'm just bored. I'm just fidgeting. I'm fine.
I'm just like, breathing.
I'm just moving.
Just fucking breathing over here. It's all good.
No, I'm a fidgeter.
Running in pace.
Running in place, yeah.
Like running in pace. Running in place, yeah. Oh man. Woo. Did you do a summary, please?
I did do a summary.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I need a refresher. My brain is like, block that book out so hard.
Okay, so today we are talking Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. And this is your 1 to 2 minutes, no spoilers summary. Okay. Butcher and Blackbird is a dark romance comedy. Rowan and Sloane are two serial killers that kill other serial killers. In this dual point of view, they have a meet cute, and after a year, they come up with a game of who can kill the target first. He falls first in this friends to lovers story that will make you question your ice cream choices. There are lots of fun side characters, flirty banter, and quirky plot twist. Check your trigger warnings. This book will not be for everybody. I loved this book. I didn't give it a 5 stars, but I almost gave it a 5 stars. It's a 4 for me. But I also discovered that I think this category of books just might be my thing. I love the dark romance comedy. I don't think I'm into dark romance, but dark romance, dark comedy, I think is my niche.
I don't mind comedy. Ooh, that's loud. That's nice. It was very seductive. That's nice. Anyways, I like dark, and I don't mind comedy. But do not give me a friends to lovers.
You're not into friends to lovers.
No, it just This is the second one I've read that we have done, and I was like, this is not even exciting because they're already mutuals and nobody wants to stab each other's eye out. Now, if that was the case, I probably would have been like, oh yeah, 5 freaking stars. But no, I've read more disturbing. And I've read better. I mean, it's written pretty okay. It's written good, but I just didn't like the story.
Okay. So on that note, I don't know if I've read that many friends to lovers books. What was the other one you're referring to?
I'm trying to find it. It was another one kind of like the Lights Out was kind of friends.
Okay, I would say that Lights Out, I don't know if I would have called it friends to lovers necessarily, but it is also a dark romance comedy, which is, in that way, they're very similar.
That's what I don't like. I do not like that genre at all.
I love it. I'm super into it. Okay, but also, side note, I kind of liked the friends to lovers thing. I love enemies to lovers, but I have something to say on the friends to lovers versus enemies to lovers.
Okay.
Somewhere on the internet, I swear, I saw Rebecca
I thought you were
Yaros.
gonna say my nudes. Sorry.
I also have a comment about that. No, I'm kidding.
Rebecca Yaros.
And I could be wrong. It could have been someone else, but I swear to God, Rebecca Yarros said that Violet and Xaden are not true enemies to lovers. Because even though their situation is set up so that he should be her enemy, from the very beginning, he was into her and they were never truly enemies to lovers. They were always really friends to lovers.
Okay, well, we personally reading it felt like they were kind of like fuck you kind of thing. And that's all that matters. It's the feeling of it. This one was just like
Okay.
this book was just like, oh, cute. They're best friends, and then they're best friends, and then they're best friends.
Okay.
That's it.
But I love a he falls first trope. So even though it was friends,
They all do. Enemies to lovers and all of them. All of the books written by women, he falls first.
okay, but my point is that maybe that's why I enjoy it because I enjoy the he falls first part. But what did you said that you enjoyed the writing. I did like her writing style, though I did feel like there was a couple of weird plot points or things that got a little bit
Yes.
messy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
so but I did enjoy her writing style, and I did end up going and reading the second book of the series because this is a 3-part series where each book can be a standalone. It's the same characters, but each book follows a different couple. And
Leather and Lark.
the next one is Leather and Lark. I have not read the third one, which is Scythe and Sparrow or Sparrow and Scythe. I can't remember. Um, I liked Sloane. I thought she was a great female character. She had a little bit of social anxiety, which I can relate to. And I thought Rowan was super cute. And with that said, go ahead.
He had a very good dirty role. He had a very good naughty role. Like he did that well. He executed
Mm,
that well. Um but did not like his character. I did not.
you did not.
He was too cinnamon rolly for me.
Oh, I love a good cinnamon roll, though. Okay.
I want also I was just thinking that we read that one book that was like the Giddy Up and the Heartless Hunter. That one.
Okay. Yeah.
That was kind of friends to lovers too, and then enemies, but friends to lovers. That still had the same feeling to me. So this is going in that category with that book.
I completely disagree about Heartless Hunter, but I did want to make another point. I did the audiobook of Butcher and Blackbird. And I know your feelings about audiobooks, but let me make this point before you totally slam me, is that when I was reading the reviews, there I went and read some of the negative reviews. And a lot of the negative reviews said something to the effect of, I would have quit this book sooner if the audiobook wasn't so good. And I haven't actually, this is my first Joe Arden audiobook, and the Irish accent is so good.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did have an Irish accent, which that to me, I was just like in my head, I was like, oh, man, I can't make this Irish accents like in my head sound masculine and fierce. And I did
Ugh.
really love. I think my favorite part of the whole book was when they were at the table. The cannibalism.
Yeah.
was not, that was, that did nothing for me. Like, that wasn't gross. You just had bacon chunks in your salad, whatever. Like, when I think of cannibalism, I think of like eating someone's ear sauteed on a grill kind of thing. Or I expected to be.
I don't think a lot of cannibals eat cartilage because
Not
um
necessarily their ear, you know. I mean, it could be like little jerky stick.
okay. I I'm not going to defend cannibalism, but think about the parts of an animal that you eat. You would eat the equivalent on a human body, Raven.
I
You
know, I
don't
know that.
eat
I know. I wasn't.
ears
Well, they make like they have like pig ears and cow ears.
for dogs, not for humans.
Okay. Well, anyways, I did not care. The Irish accent, like at first, I was like, what? Where did this come from? And it did not tie in. But I was reading it and there was several little parts that I was like, I had to like go back and like reread again because I was like, what did I miss? Was I not paying
Because of
attention
the
that hard?
accent.
No, there's like little screw the accent, like little chunks in the book that like
Oh,
yeah, I would go back and I'd be like, was I falling asleep during that? Because I'd have to go back reread it and be like, no, I did just didn't.
didn't
Yeah,
register. Yeah, I could see that.
I was yeah.
Like I said, this book is not going to be for everybody, and I think I just wanted to make the point that the audiobook is very good. The voice actor for the man, if you enjoy men with accents speaking into your ear, you'll like this audiobook because Joe Arden is great.
Well, if you're an actual reader,
Oh,
insert clip. Insert clip. Kelly reads.
Kelly Reeds.
I read it. I pushed through, Kelly. I pushed through that shit. And then I was like, this is so predictable. It was all predictable. The whole thing was predictable.
Okay, well, we can trade places when we talk about our next book because I feel that way about this
I'm not even
next book
saying
we're
that
gonna go
I
today.
that the next book is kind of not it's not it's I think it's written well, but I don't think it's a very good book. So we're both probably not far off on this one.
Okay, so
It is Butcher and Blackbird. No.
I loved it. Butcher, Rowan, loved him.
Um,
Blackbird, Sloane, loved her too. I loved the book. I'm rating it at least a 4 stars. And even though, and you know what, I found the cannibalism to be funny. Like a
yes,
lot of people,
I was laughing my ass off, and the fact that like he's like I thought the part where he passed the fuck out and she's like we're just
she's
carving
like,
away.
she's like, don't eat it, stop. And he's like, what? Kind of gave Garrick eating the chocolate cake.
I like that part. I was giggling. I was giggling about that. The ice
What
cream
about
thing did nothing for me either. That wasn't gross. I mean, I in my head I thought
a lot of people were very grossed out about it on the internet though. Like it made people I thought that was kind of funny and also like
I thought it was
that's what
funny because they didn't like she read the direction or the ingredients and she was like, he's eating semen.
and I it was like one of those things that she put in the book that I was like I would have never thought of that and I thought it was kind of funny and like you don't really read shit like that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought it was
that whole table
interesting.
scene was what made the whole book. Listen, I am
Listen.
one that will forever, even if the book sucked, I cannot, I just 5 star every fucking thing. Go look at my Goodreads. I mean, I am very consistent with my 5 star, and even if the book was shit. And I
I
read this and I was like, Raven, you got to get out of that. And I was like, hesitating so hard to push
Did
the
you rate it
three.
a three
Three.
star?
Yeah.
You did. Oh, okay. All right.
It's all
Well,
right. I'll go back in and change.
I read
Just
Leather and
not
Lark right away.
honest.
I read Leather and Lark right away. I have too much on my plate to do the third one, but eventually I'll read the third one. And I might even read some of her other books. I liked it enough that I will continue to read her as an author.
I got so bored with that. I didn't get bored. I mean, I wasn't
You can say bored.
enthralled. I wasn't, yes. I was fucking bored. I read like a dark, dark, sleazy ass romance just to kind of compensate for the feelings that the book was not giving me. It was too
Uh,
sweet, too nice. I couldn't do it.
well, this hit all of Kelly's favorite things. Cinnamon rolls. He falls first. It was funny. I don't know. I loved it. So, what are we going to
Yeah,
play for our game?
a lot of people loved it.
But a lot of
Um,
people didn't. It like got a lot of one stars too. And so I went and I read some of the one stars. And like I said, the most common thing I read in the one stars was uh I hated this book. And the only reason I got through it was because the audiobook was so good. The voice actor was so good.
I
Um,
did not get that luxury.
okay, so I feel like we need to play a game and I think it should have something to do with the cannibalism.
Seaman Sundays.
Human Sundays.
I had a Sunday today.
You did. Okay.
I thought about it too, and I was like, whatever.
You're
In my
like, what
head,
if this is really something else?
I mean, in my head, when I read that part, I was like, oh, ha, 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 ha. And then I was like, there's people there that fucking do this, actually do this. But there's semen eaters out there. I mean, I guess every time you swallow, you're a semen eater.
Yes. How? Why did you not make that connection? I was like, if you swallow, this isn't that much different.
He did a cleanup job. He did a
Oh yeah,
cleanup job.
I wanted to ask you about that because we had a discussion about this, and I was like, "Oh, wait till you read Butcher and Blackbird. You're gonna hate that part." What'd you think?
Oh, I love that.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
like, I like my new glasses, but I look like I'm cross-eyed as fuck.
No, you don't. You look fine.
I keep like seeing my picture, and I'm like, God, wait, fix your eyes.
Also, I like purple on you, by the way. That lavender color is really nice on you.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon. Oh
It's
man,
funny.
I loved me some Sailor Moon in like junior high. I would come home and watch the afternoon anime Sailor Moon while I ate my lunch during the summer.
Your people lunch, human lunch, a
Not a
carnivore.
cannibal. No, I'm not a can. I eat a lot of mac and cheese
Cannibal.
actually.
I'm not a
Cannibal.
cannibal, but
It was like the one thing I knew how to make, when you're in like junior high, make myself a big pot of macaroni and cheese after practice and watch Sailor Moon. And what was Sailor Moon's like secret boyfriend? She was like dating some guy in real life, and then she was enemies with him when they put their masks on. Man, maybe that's where my enemies to lovers and friends to
they
lovers
set
came
us
in.
up our entire lives. I see all these
Beauty
like,
and the Beast,
man,
Sailor Moon, Thumbelina, the wings. I mean, come on.
there's too many. There's too many. Didn't Wendy end up
Oh,
with Captain Hook? Or is that a porno?
no, that's a porno. Um, did I send you that thing where someone was talking about the dark monster in the Fantasia movie? With Mickey Mouse? Oh, did I send you that one?
No.
Oh, it was like, someone was rewatching Fantasia with their kids, and there's a scene where this giant, dark, devilly guy with big wings comes out, and she was like, maybe this is where my love of dark winged man came from. And it's kind of funny.
I watched The
Uh,
Emperor's New Groove. Well, I didn't watch it.
Cusco!
And I watched that and I didn't I don't think I got any tropes from that one. Well,
Pull the lever! Wrong lever!
Kronk. But I mean, big and broody men are big and more like big and dumb, but Kronk didn't have the best. He was at the
No.
highest IQ in the film.
Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Maybe like some sort of
I just
monster turning into like a prince turning into an
unless
animal trope. I don't
unless
know.
you like really old women with lots of makeup, if that's your trope, then that might be for you. But I did not get any trope ideas from the Emperor's New Groove.
What's our game gonna be?
Okay, I think we should name cannibal foods. So I'm gonna
Cannibal
go
foods.
first. I'm gonna go. No, yep.
You're gonna have to do something with an ear because you're convinced we're eating ears.
Okay, so we're going in alphabetical order because we seem to do that anyways. Don't look at me like that. Yeah, but
Why do we have to go in alphabetical order?
it's just easier.
Okay, but what is a body part that starts with the letter A?
Appendix. Applesauce.
Appendix applesauce.
I mean, yum.
Okay, B has to be for brain.
Brain broil.
Brain saute. I don't know. I was gonna kind of go from the top down. That's how I was thinking of it. Like
Like our yeah, our
body parts from the top down.
yeah, okay. Let's all right, so brain. Um
Mm-hmm.
brain broccoli.
Brain and broccoli.
Brain and broccoli and cheese.
Broccoli and cheese. Okay, I was thinking of like
Or broccoli and cheese brain.
tongue tacos.
Well, that's our chewy sir.
They have like beef tongue tacos,
I
right?
eclairs.
Eclairs.
I mean, you can stuff it, you smush it up, stuff it in there. I'm thinking of like that. Like I'm picturing the actual body parts being consumed in very disgusting ways.
Okay, now I feel like we have to talk about the heart. What would you eat?
Skull spaghetti.
Skull spaghetti. I feel like a skull needs to be a soup holder. Maybe it should be brain soup served in your skull.
Soup skull. Skull
Soup
soup.
skull. Skull soup.
Skull soup.
Bourgeois. Brain bourgeois.
Brain brulee.
Brain brulee.
I can picture that with some apples, with my appendix and apples. Brain brulee and appendix apples. Appendix.
Appendix. I was gonna go with heart. So what would we do with a cart? A cart.
A cart or
Heart.
card.
Heart.
What?
How about boiled potato and heart skewers?
What? Heart healthy.
Oh God. Not everything has to be alliteration.
I know when you said that, I was like, why do I keep doing that?
Okay. This should be an easy one. Kidneys. I feel like a kidney pie.
Kidney bean soup. Oh,
Kidney and bean soup.
Kidney and bean, not kidney bean, kidney and bean.
And bean soup. That's a good one.
Um,
Okay, next one. Liver. Liver and onions. That's a very common one. Have you ever had liver and onions? I've never had liver.
when I was a kid, went through hell whenever it was cooked. It was so bad. It was like, it's,
Parents, stop making your kids eat liver. That's gross.
I suffered, but there's people that like it. And
I
I,
know.
I was like, I
I
mean,
know there's
that's,
people that like it, and I'm not saying you can't like it, but why would you make your kids eat that?
well, you gotta figure out what they like.
I'm sorry, but my taste buds have changed so much since I was a kid.
Yeah,
Things that you like as an adult, you don't like as a kid. And
yeah.
I feel like parents just need to accept that their kids are just going to not like certain things and
And
make
it's their taste buds. It's not like,
and it's their taste buds. When I was a kid, when I started eating solid foods, my parents couldn't get me to eat anything except for like SpaghettiOs. And my my mom or my dad or both were like, you ate basically SpaghettiOs for a whole year after you started eating solid food. And my dad was like so worried about me. He tried to like, um, those drinks that you give people Ensure that are like
mm,
super calorie dense that you give to people that are having a hard time consuming calories. Well, there's a puppy and kitty version that you give when like the mom has disappeared. And so it's like a high calorie milk substitute for puppies and kittens. So my dad just brought that home and like tried to feed it to me.
and your kids are eating liver and onions.
Because all I would eat was SpaghettiOs.
And Kelly ate dog food.
And I eat dog food.
Don't take
Side
advice
note,
from Kelly, but I also don't think you should make your kids eat stuff unless it's their veggies. That I'm a firm believer. You need to eat your veggies, you need the nutrients.
well, that's the point of giving me puppy and kitty food is it gave me all of my nutrients. I'm just fucking with you. Okay, also side
You're
note,
not fucking with me because you really did. This is real. You can't, you really did.
I just the milk. Okay, so um side note, um when my mom was in veterinary school, she said she went to a study session or something. And vet students get dog and cat food for super cheap or free all the time
Yeah.
because food companies will send free food so that when they become veterinarians, they'll like recommend their food brand to their clients. And this guy cracked open a can of dog food and started eating it with crackers because he was so fucking poor that that was his food.
I,
Like everyone was struck on the struggle bus
this
so
is
hard.
a little more disturbing than eating people.
It's not.
I would like it. It's I was like, no, he's not gonna eat it, and no, no, no. But then the other one, I was just like, oh yeah, you just ate a human salad. Ooh,
He thought it was beef.
there's a new term for tossed salad.
I like the original version.
I do too, but
Okay, so we've gone through kidneys and livers. What else do you eat that's
let's
part of
do
bodies? Intestines.
make sausage links.
Make sausage links.
That's very serial killer creepy. I would that's pretty it's wild shit.
The last book that we had that had a accidental cannibalism was when someone served human at a barbecue. And in my mind, I was thinking like hot dog shapes. So maybe he like just because they didn't say what they consumed, they just said they consumed humans at a barbecue on
What
accident.
book was that?
Lights out.
Oh yeah. Okay. The other fucking meat's cute shit. Garbage ass.
It wasn't a meet cute, the
I don't
different
care.
plot entirely.
I don't care. It was they're both I like the comedy.
You just said you
And
hated the comedy. You
no,
were like,
I
get my
just
comedy out of dark romance,
no,
is what
I
you
did
basically
not.
said.
You need to go back and rewatch this damn video because that is
I'm gonna
not what I
rewatch
said.
it.
I
You're
said
like,
that
ugh, I
that
need
is
my
what.
dark romance dark. That's basically what you said.
Yeah, no, I like the comedy part, just not. I don't like it all combined like that. Just if it's gonna be dark, it needs to be dark. Comedy. It was
I
kind
feel like
of
that's what I just said.
there was like there was a few times that I laughed and I enjoyed laughing, Kelly. Okay, that's all.
Okay,
That's
well,
it.
I'm glad to know that you
I
enjoy laughing.
laughed. I laughed. I laughed. I laughed. I fucking laughed, Kelly. I laughed. Hated it so much. I laughed. Um,
Okay, I feel like we need to do like a rump roast next. Isn't that what they ate? They ate like a rump roast in the book.
yes,
Yeah.
it was, or I thought it was like a salad
Yeah, but I think it was slices of like beef
rump
rump
roast.
roast.
Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
This
this
is
is
so
so
good. And
cool."
he's like, I'm a chef and this is great. And we can share recipes. And she's
What's
like,
your secret sauce?
stop eating it.
Steven.
Stop. Stop.
And then he's getting drunk as all get out and passing out on the table.
Okay, he did not
Got
pass out because
drugged.
he was drunk. He
He was
passed out because
drugged.
he was drugged. Yeah.
He was drugged. He's like
Because
sleeping and he's got human in his mouth, and then
he's like
she's
he's like in the soup.
she, and
And
she's
she's
just
like,
over here making a masterpiece.
I had a really hard time imagining her artistic
Mhm.
process. It was a
I
cool idea. I just couldn't really imagine it.
I it didn't because she does that with all of her um victims.
Victims. Yeah.
And it didn't really like settle until they explained it at the dinner table. And it's
Mm,
like, that's a really clever idea. I just
yeah.
don't understand the spider and there's some things that did not make sense to me, but it's okay.
Mm.
Like,
Basically, she was making a 3D image of
where the killer put the bodies he killed.
right, which I feel like it has a very specific name that's escaping me. I had a boyfriend that kind of did stuff like that.
We
Uh, where he worked on a
Vincent,
computer and worked on 3D images of um
and
land.
she was like a mile in real life would be like 10 centimeters on, yeah.
Yeah, she's basically creating a 3D map and then the bodies are like different things that she puts on inside the map. And she's like if they would just like turn it like this and scan it, they'd realize it's just a big topographical map.
Yeah.
Which I think it's funny that they were making fun of the feds for not figuring out her process. She's like, well, if they were smarter, they would have figured it out by now.
We didn't even figure it out right now. The readers were a little thrown off, honey.
um, what did you think of his violent outburst where he like smashed the guy to death for watching her behind the wall?
Okay, first off, that was kind of that was creepy. Also, let me just say this turned me off on piercings completely.
Oh, we talked about her piercings. Okay, go ahead.
Listen, to whoever has them, kudos to you. I had to look up some of it because I was like, what is that? And I looked it up and I was a little scared. And then I saw a couple of the other ones and I was like, well, is it this kind? Or I guess it's my brain, so I can imagine how to kind of want it to be like piercing wise. But I just,
Okay, so I knew myself well enough that I did not look it up. I
it's
just imagined it because I didn't want to see it.
well, it was the only one that was like at the hole, the entrance.
Yeah.
That was the only one that I looked up because I was like, oh, I never really heard of that one.
Hmm.
But the way they described it, I was like, I have a feeling that that's what it is. I was like, please don't tell me that that's what it is, and that's what it was. And whoo, Yeah. Google images.
I'm not looking it up, but I just kind of imagines like just a row of piercings.
I
Like, you pierce your ears like this. That's what I imagined. No? Not at all?
I picture
When someone pierces the whole outside of their ear with a series
but she only
of
had
piercings? I
yeah,
thought she had a series of piercings.
she had one, two, three, four down there. So I pictured the two labia piercings as those big ass heavy ones that hang. I don't know why. Not pictured as that, but I pictured like it's like the ring with the balls. It's like
Okay, yeah.
gauged. Like that is what I pictured. Just a labia. I was like, woo.
If it's gauged, it's just then
No,
how does
like
he get in?
gauge and like the diameter is
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
bigger and like but they're rings around the
Uh-huh.
lips.
Okay.
So
I
there's
thought you were describing something else. Yeah, I think we're imagining the same thing. But with
you're
little
by the way that
but
you're
with but
imagining
you are imagining it with danglies.
I'm talking like heavy dangly
Heavily danglies.
heavily
Okay.
and like stretched. No,
Okay, I imagine something much more dainty and pretty.
not at all.
Not
Don't
at all
want
though.
it. Mm-mm.
Don't want it, not interested.
And
Well, okay, I have been complaining the last couple of piercing books that the author doesn't go into a description of how it feels. But in this book, she kind of does describe a little bit how it feels for him, which I appreciated.
no, besides him just saying, "Oh, it's great." No, that's not enough
No,
detail.
he talks about how he like rubs
Yes.
on the outside and how it feels. I don't know. I just thought that
Well,
was
yeah.
never mind.
I guess a lot of the authors wouldn't really know unless they have.
Okay, but just like Liv said, these authors are probably interviewing people or meeting people with that they can talk to. So
Mhm.
even if they don't have the piercing, which Brynne, if you do, good for you, great, love this for you.
Don't I
But
take back everything I said?
take back everything. No, I didn't say
The
anything
book
bad.
still sucked,
Okay, I still loved your book,
and I still don't
but
like
I'm
piercings
saying
everything.
that if you have a friend who has these piercings, or you have a friend who's had sex with someone with these piercings, like you can ask. And, you don't necessarily have to have lived experiences. You meet people and you ask questions. You're like, hey, who has these piercings? I
Listen,
want
just
some detail.
I get that, and yes, that's fine. I agree. You ask, and you and Chat GPT have a very crazy relationship. When you're like, "Hey, internet," I just pictured you and Chat GPT.
When
Like
did we
that gives
talk
you.
about me using ChatGPT like it's
Right
my
now,
best
you
friend?
just like you just the way you
No,
just
I said,
said
hey, internet, like Reddit, like
yes,
people, not
exact.
ChatGPT.
Oh, I know, but I
Jesus.
was saying that you were so like enthralled with ChatGPT. You said you spit all night that one night on.
Oh, okay. Let me clarify this. One night I got really saucy and I had some ideas for a 7-part series that involves one of the seven seas. And I basically, in my sauciness, started typing out ideas into ChatGPT and was like, ChatGPT, organize this into a 7-book series. And I thought it was a good use of ChatGPT because when you're a little bit saucy and then you write notes in your note app and then you're not anymore the next morning and you're reading it and you're like, what the fuck did I just write? I had fun because it was like, oh, you can do this. And so every time I was like, this character did this. And the next random thought I had was like, oh, and this character did this. So then it just took it and organized it into a 7-book series. And I am not going to apologize for
That's
that.
fine. But I do not condone anyone that's using any ChatGPT or AI or any of those things to write their books. Nope. Mm-mm. I do not condone that. I will not read it. And if I find out that you did, I will ban you.
Raven is ready to just cancel anyone that's used ChatGPT in their lifetime.